What's up, YouTube fans? Today I want to take a look at the X-Transbots Maedas, or their version of a masterpiece scale camshaft. So this is the third in the series of Omnibots, so this completes the set. I am in on these, so this is my copy. I bought it for myself, and I really love the vehicle modes. This one is no different. Beautiful vehicle mode. Got that metallic silver or gray. Nice black stripe along the side. Marker, orange marker lights on the front. You got orange lights here. Tail lights red and orange with a silver in the middle. This is a RX-7 Mazda. Beautiful vehicle. It does have opening headlights. So you push down a little bit there, you can pop it up. That looks really nice. There you go. It does roll nicely on the wheels as long as you have it transformed correctly. You can open the doors. It's a little tricky. You got to pull the door back. So don't just fly it open. Just pull back on this hinge. There's a double hinge. And then you can open it up. There's nothing to see in there. There's no cockpit, but you can open the doors for like a display, for a picture or something. All right, there it is next to the MP10 Optimus Prime and the Takara Masterpiece Blue Streak. And this fits in perfectly with the Masterpiece scale. I love the car size overall. All right, and here's a comparison you probably won't see on other channels with the other two Omnibots in car mode. And they look great together. You got the Ferrari here and the Toyota Supra, and now we've got the Mazda. They look really good. I mean, I love how these turned out in car mode. Here's the back. Really nice team. All right, now we'll get him transformed into his battle mode. And we'll start by opening the doors. I don't know if it's called battle mode, but that's what I call it. Slide that back. And same on this side. It can be a little tricky, so I would recommend if you have a handy, have a spudger. Pull that out and open it up to give yourself some room. And we're going to end up unpegging this from here. Just tabbed in right there. And same on the other side. Then we can lift up on this glass. So it's just tabbed in here and here. So lift that up. And inside is the gun. You can actually see, I just want to show you while I'm here, that it folds up like this. So you can fold it up, but it'll fold by itself as it rubs past the head. So if you want to avoid any collision, you can move that. So point that up like this. Then we're going to take the arms, which we're going to slide out like this and get that angled outwards. They're going to untab. From here, we're going to open up these. And these will end up pegging in right here. You can see there's a peg and a slot underneath. So get that tabbed in right there. Same on this one, fold this forward, get that tabbed in right there. All right, you can close the door back up, just collapse that back down. On the bottom, don't forget to put these back towards the rear. Then we're going to bring this forward. We're going to unpeg the arm from the door. So straighten this up. And we're going to open up or close up this panel right here. It'll tab in right back here. There's a slot. So bring this back and tab that in. This will come down. You'll see there's a slot here and a peg down here. So get that pegged in. That kind of holds the arm in place. Then you can swing open the arm. And you do need to open up the hand in order to hold the gun. I do find that a little weird, but that's how it works. And that's going to tab in right here on the door. And just be careful, it is a painted surface here. All right, same thing on this side. I'll do it again just because it's a little more complicated. Make sure you slide it all the way up to here. Actually, I'm not even sure if I did do that. Let's make sure we get that slid all the way up and then tab it in there. Tab it in here and tab it in on the side of the door. We're going to take the guns, which look like this, nice chrome guns. They'll plug it in the hands. You know, I find it a little cheesy that this is how you attach it. You just put it in the hands of the robot mode. I feel like they could have done a little bit better than that, but that's how it works. Open up the hand, get the handle in, and then just close the fingers around it. It's kind of hard to tab it in, to be honest, so I don't even bother. I just close the fingers around it. It will hold there just fine. All right, so same on this side. Open up the fingers a little bit, and then get the handle slid in, and then close up the fingers around the handle. All right, there's Maedas in his battle mode. Looks pretty good. In the official instruction information, it shows it like this. I don't know. I think that looks weird. I prefer to have it like this, but however you like. It does still roll because now you got the wheels out here. So pretty cool little battle mode. All right, and for comparison, there it is with the other two X-Transbots, Omnibots. Again, I think I'm probably the only channel where you're going to see somebody transform all three. But they do look great together. I'm happy that they included the super modes for all of them. All right, now let's get this guy transformed into robot mode. And we're kind of partially the way there just because we already did the arms. But unpeg the arms from there. This to make things easier on myself, I'm going to remove the guns. You don't have to, but I'm going to remove the guns from the hands. Set those aside. And we'll come to here. We're going to open up the doors. Again, slide them back on these. We can rotate the windows in. And for now, we're not going to fold this down. The instructions actually showed folding these down, but I found that it was easier not to do that. All right, same on this one. Fold the door out. Fold the window down. Come to the back here. We're going to open up this panel. And this is actually tabbed in on the inside right here. So if you just pull this out before removing the doors, which are tabbed in on the sides, you'll have a little bit of trouble because this is actually going in right here. All right, but go ahead and pull that out. Then we can take the upper body and we're going to swing this around. You can unpeg the front glass from here, and as you do that, it'll unfold all of this. And just to show you how to go back, that's the configuration when you go back. It looks like that. Kind of at an angle. All right, so fold that out. And we can flip open these chest pieces on the front. And come back to here, and now we'll take care of these arms. So these arms are going to rotate forward. They sit up and in like this. Then we can close the door. Actually, the easiest way to do this is to angle the door or the arm out like this. And once you have it out like that, then you can bring the door in. And we are going to collapse this door down, but for now, just leave it there. Same for this one. We're going to bring the arm down, rotate it around so it's faced out like this. Then bring this door in and collapse it down. Let it sit there for now. On this other side, we can flip the head panel around, straighten that up, and then rotate the head to the front. This has to stay in this angle, but as you push down on it, this is going to tab into the back. As you tab this in, it's going to push down on this and lift the head up. So I recommend you hold the head, and we're going to open up these panels right here. Accordion this in, and then this will tab in right here on the top. And like I mentioned, it likes to push down on this panel. It's a little tricky to get it in there, but hold the head so it doesn't fold in. Okay, so that's how the back's looking. In here, we're going to take these two panels that we folded out. They're going to clip in right here. So you have to kind of pull the plastic out a little bit, flex it, and then tab it in right there. Same on this one, fold this out, flex it, tab it in. These two pieces are going to tab in right here. And at first, when I first transformation, this was flopping around. I was like, why doesn't this go in? So if you just do that, it doesn't actually tab in. You have to really pull the plastic to the side. You'll feel it go in. And it's much stronger pull than I intended when I first transformed it, because I was trying to be careful. But you really have to get that in there. There we go. So you'll see it go pretty far down, that tab, on both sides. So make sure you get that in there. All right, and then these doors, the blue part, the glass, is going to sit just under this die-cast armature. All right, so we can get this tabbed in on the front. Get the doors pushed in all the way. So they tab in here, and then underneath, this blue glass is sitting just between here on an angle. It's not perfectly straight. You can see it's kind of bent right there. So that's the configuration I found that, kind of makes most sense. But, because there's no instructions and we're using a video, you kind of have to guess a little bit at certain things. Oh, this came out. All right, there we go. So that is the upper body. That is done. So now we can take care of this. So we're going to separate the legs from each other. It's tabbed in on this top part plus this bottom part. We can lift this forward. Come to the front here. You're going to slide this out. It's just tabbed in right there. You can rotate this down and then pull this out on this double hinge, and then that can sit back like this. On this side, we're going to untab this. That will free up the knee. So accordion this all the way out, bring this forward, and tab it back in on the back. So it'll end up like that. All right, so make sure that's tabbed in. Down here, we'll take care of this foot. So we're going to open up this panel, open up this inner panel. That's going to end up in here. All of them have had feet kind of like this, but that's going to tab in right there. You're going to bring this up. This is going to go on the outside of this. You did to bend the die cast. It's not plastic. It's a piece of die cast. I don't love that you have to bend it, but that is how it works. So make sure that stays tabbed in there. So give that a little bit of flex and then tab it in there and then bring the foot down. All right, so that's one leg. Go ahead and do the other side. I'm going to do this one off camera. It's exactly the same, and I'll be right back. All right, now I think of both legs. I did want to mention this side is slightly different than this side. This one is going into a slot. This one already has a tab that's going into a hole. But we're going to adjust the hip. So you can have it sitting like this, but then it's constantly falling down on you. So what I recommend is close that all the way, then rotate the thighs forward, and then rotate the legs back. And that gives you the maximum, stability there on that hip piece. Otherwise, you've got that ab crunch always kind of moving on you. So that's how I like to do it. And we also have to untab the arms. I forgot to mention, they're just tabbed in back here. So free those up from the shoulder pad. All right, there is Maedas in robot mode. And I do have to say, this looks really nice. Lots of beautiful paint detail. Here on the chest, you got this metallic blue, pink, white, yellow. On the arms, you got the blue and red stripes with the red triangle there. Nice paint here on the hip skirts. Thighs are done in silver. Here's the back. It does actually clean up pretty well. Once you get everything settled, it's just tough to get it settled, especially the first time. But yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good. Let's go over the articulation. There are some joints. The tolerances is like kind of variable on this thing. Head is on a rotating swivel, goes up to there, down to there, rotates around. It's a very good looking head. So look at that metallic blue for the eyes. Looks great. Shoulders rotating around on a hinge, out to the side on a hinge. There's a little bit of butterfly here just due to the way it's designed. So you get a little bit of forward and backward butterfly. Just be careful not to scratch up the door. You have a rotation here at the bicep. You have a double jointed elbow, full bend. You have a rotation here at the wrist. Fingers can open up. The bottom three are connected. And then the top finger is separate, but it's curled, so there's no point. And the thumb is on a hinge as well. All of them have had hands like this. They're not very good hands, to be honest. For the waist, you have a waist rotation here. Ab crunch gets it down to there. This could have stood to be a little bit tighter. It's kind of loose, and actually the weight of it, getting it to stay there for a pose might be a little challenging, but it does work. Legs move with the hip skirt. There's actually a movement on the leg, and they've all been done this way. And then there's a movement on the hip skirt as well. So you can't get them independently rotated. Out to the side on friction, holds just fine. I would say this tolerance is a little bit loose, but then this tolerance is tighter. So it's kind of all over the place. You have a double jointed knee, gets you the full bend. That works pretty well, actually. Yeah, this forward and backward could have stood to be a little tighter, too. Ankle tilts out to there, die cast joint. For the accessories, we just have the same two guns done in the chrome, and those can fit in the hand, just like we did for the vehicle mode, special vehicle mode. Kind of put it in there and then close the fingers around it. It doesn't quite tab in. Honestly, they're just loose. And that's been a theme throughout all of these figures. The weapons just are loose. I don't know why they can't make them fit, but it does look great. I mean, the chrome on this missile back here, plus the weapons up here, it really does look good. And for size comparison, there it is next to the Magic Square Toys toy deco of Optimus Prime. I just figured since we're doing toy deco figures, might as well bring him in. And he fits in perfectly, just the same size as other Carbots in the Masterpiece scale. So it's going to work perfectly in a collection like that. All right, and for comparison, there it is with the X-Transbots, Fioravanti, and Yuguchi. And we've completed the set of 3 Omnibots. Definitely satisfying. Definitely a good feeling to finish the set and see them together. I never had these as a kid, so getting them as an adult in this format, I think is pretty cool. I love the car modes on these. All of them are, 80 sports cars, which, that's my thing. I love that. So I'm happy to have these. But let's do final recommendations here too, since we finally got the set together. Overall, I think Camshaft is the best. This guy is the best of the 3. I'm going to give him a 4 to 5. I'll recommend it. It looks great in vehicle mode, great in robot mode. There's a couple little tolerance things here and there, but overall, I think he's definitely the best of the 3 in terms of performance and looks. There are things across the set that I find a little troublesome, like the guns don't really fit in the hands. Like they're just kind of loose. I have little issues like this where this forearm just doesn't want to sit in the arm. I tried tightening the screw. That didn't help anything. So that's just an issue. Yaguchi, you know, he had a very loose and empty back. I got this back filler from the Nail Bomb RP, who sent me this, along with a bunch of other upgrades. So that definitely has helped. So yeah, little bits and pieces here and there. Oh, and I also had paint chipping. I painted this myself. I don't know if you could tell on camera, but huge paint chip right there. And I ended up painting it, touching it up with some white paint. So little bits and pieces like that, you know, paint chipping are things to watch out for. But if you're a fan of Omnibots, I don't think anybody else is going to make these characters. So this is really it. Now, my personal journey with X-Transbots is going to be ending here. I really enjoy the car modes they make, but I really don't enjoy rolling the dice and getting figures and not knowing, is it going to be a great figure? Is it going to be a bad figure? Is it going to break? Is it going to paint chip? So this will be it for me personally as far as purchases are concerned. However, I do have friends who like to send me figures for review, namely Ricky G. Shout out to him. You know, he still is sending me the X-Transbots Constructicons. So when we get the next one, I'll be taking a look at that. I really appreciate him being willing to do that, despite having, you know, minor breaks on 2 out of the 3 so far. He's still willing to send it. So definitely appreciate that. So we will be looking at more, just they won't be my copies. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
TM Reviews. What's up, YouTube fans?